Navigating Burnout by Trusting Your Instruments. Steve Jobs dropped in on a calligraphy course at Reed College, and it changed the world of computers. Jobs took the knowledge of calligraphy to design the font system for the Apple Macintosh system, and that's what helped transform computers from green screen typewriters to the beautiful design systems that we have today. Sometimes what you learn randomly can be powerful in your life and in the life of others. Just one of the lessons that every pilot is taught can help you prevent burnout in yourself and in others. So what's our perception of burnout? Burnout has classically been defined as exhaustion, cynicism, and inefficacy. However, your actual efficacy makes little difference to whether you'll be burned out or not. What matters is your perception of your efficacy, not reality. If your perception is connected to and grounded in reality, then you can accept that your actual efficacy would impact your burnout or not. In most cases, you and your people are effective. It's just that you don't believe you're productive or productive enough, and that can lead to a crash. A pilot's instruments. So even visual pilots are taught like instrument-rated pilots. A visual pilot can only fly when they can see the outside weather. Instrument-rated pilots are taught to fly safely in nearly any kind of weather. However, there's a recognition that visual pilots may find themselves in bad circumstances, so they receive the basic training on how to use their instruments when they get into that trouble. The first part of the training, and every part of the training after it, focuses on the need to trust the instruments. Trust the instruments when your internal perception of what is happening doesn't match what the instruments are saying. Your own internal sense of what is happening doesn't have the precision that the instruments have. A common complaint is, well, what if the instruments fail? Though failures are rare, they do happen. That's why aircraft have multiple instruments that can communicate the same information. They are sourced from two different sets of inputs, and if you have two different instruments saying you're descending or turning, they're right, whether you like it or not. So what about our relationship to efficacy? When it comes to our efficacy, we don't have the kind of precision that aircraft flight instruments offer, but we can leverage the feedback we receive from others to cross-check how we feel we're doing with our efficacy. If we're getting feedback from our manager that our facilitation skills are great, whether we feel good about them or not, we know that we're effective. If our presentations are met with high marks and positive comments, then we know they're good, whether we feel it or not. Of course, just like instruments in an aircraft can fail, so too can our feedback fail us. Some people, including our managers, won't give us the candid feedback we need. Sometimes people may feel as if they're competing with us and will give us negative marks just to bring us down. However, for most people, the feedback we receive will cluster around the right answer. By cross-checking the feedback from different people, we can figure out what data might be bad, and, like the bad instrument, we can learn to ignore it. The deal is we have to test our efficacy. If you are struggling with burnout, the path forward relies on trusting your instruments, the feedback that you're getting, instead of how you feel. It was on July 16th of 1999 when John F. Kennedy Jr. left on a flight to Martha's Vineyard. And according to the official NTSB report, he encountered low clouds, and he stopped trusting his instruments and instead began to rely on his own flawed perception, resulting in a crash. How do you learn to trust your feedback so that you don't crash into burnout?